So right here we have now somewhere we can write the message, and also we can enter the message, and you can see our message here. So what we need to do now, we need to start looking at how we can integrate with our backend. And to integrate with our backend, since we are using Angular, we need to use something that is called services. So what I will do, I will just come here. You can see here in this front end here, and I will generate a service. I just say ng and then generate and then service, and then I want to have service, and then I can just say this my service, I want to call it the chat. I just called it chat. So I can now generate this service here. So let's see if our service will be generated here. So after that, now we will look at our backend, and you can see here I have the Postman open because I was testing this also our backend a while ago before I started recording. So we are starting to see now the integration part, and which will complete our project. So now let's wait for that, and then we can go back here in our app.component here app.component.ts, and in here you can see in the last video we got the message here. We have the message that we are getting from our input. So I'll just look and format, and then let's see if our services have been generated. And let me see here. Yes, actually you can see here our service has already been generated, and when you open here you can see we have this service here. So if we want to do a request to a backend, also we need to include the module HTTP module for here. We need to import that one here. So I'll just say HTTP module. So let's see if we have we can get the auto completion. So I just say HTTP client, or from what I can do, I can say import because I don't see any auto completion, and then I'll say this one I want to get it from Angular here, and then common, and then HTTP. You can see we have HTTP here, and I want to get now HTTP client module. HTTP client module, you can see it here. This one is the one that I want to import, and we can import it here now. HTTP client module, just like that. So that one we have already imported it there. So in here in our service we need to create a method. So to do that, first of all, I will just come here, and I can add a method, and this one I just say get chat or get chats. I just call it get chat. And in here now, the things that we need to include is also the types. So here actually we need to accept the message, and this message is coming from our front end, and this is a string because we need to include the type here, because remember the Angular is using TypeScript. And now the other thing that we need to do is to give here the type also for that will be returned in this function. Let me first of all go back while, and then in here now I can say what I return here is an observable that we'll be getting from our backend. So in here I need to import observable, and the observable, because we don't have auto completion, observable will be coming. We'll import it from library of RxJS. So let me first of all add it here, or add this line of code here, because we are getting this observable from this RxJS. So another thing now we need to do here, now we just say observable, and inside now this observable, or we need to have a generic type. And now inside here is where we need now to include the the message that we'll be getting from our backend, because we'll be getting also the message. So in here we need to include the object here. So this object will be will accept now the message, and also is and type of a string. So now in here, now remember we need to do return here, and again here if we do that, we need also to create the HTTP new instance. So what we'll do inside our constructor now, we'll inject a HTTP client. So meaning that we need to import the HTTP client also, because remember Angular comes with this all these. So let me add it here, and again now here I need to inject this HTTP. So I'll just say private and then HTTP, and in here I'll give it a type of HTTP client, just like that. And then now after that, now what we can do now, we can make the request to our backend, and to do that I can just add it here, or this .http, and because it is a post method, we can include this post method, and you can see it here. And now we can give it that this URL for the endpoint, or our endpoint. So I just copy it and then minimize this one here. So in here I need first of all to include this, and after that now in here I need to also include the message that we are getting now from the message that we are getting from now this front end, that is. So in here also I need to include the type, and this one is here is a type of generic, and then a message here, and a string also here. So just like that. So this is what I want to add it here. So now the other thing that we need is to call this method in our front end here. So in here also I need now to inject that service here, so in our component actually. So in here we need to have inside our constructor here also we need to inject that, and we do the same here. So I just copy this one here, because we need to have a component inside this app.component.ts. So let us add it here. So when we add it here, so what we'll do now, I just say this private, and then I'll just add a message or chat service. Let me call it chat service, and then I need to now add it as a chat service. Now you can see now I'm injecting this service, because it's the one that we'll be using to do the request. So inside here now, after we have submitted, or we have gotten the message now from our input, we just say this dot chat service, and then dot get chat, and then here, because you see we need to accept we need to give this the message. So I just say this dot form, and then dot value, and then dot message, just like that one. And then the other thing that I want to do is now to subscribe. So I just need to subscribe, and when I subscribe I'll get a value. So I need to get a value after subscription, and after that now I can first of all console log. I just console log this value, that is, or I just say value dot message. Okay, let me first of all add it as value dot message. That's okay. So now let's try and see what will happen. So you can see here now we'll get this message from our input, and then we call this service that we now interact with our backend. So let's save here this file here, that is for our service. And then inside here also in our component here, we need to make sure everything is okay. And now let's open our application, and now we can just inspect first of all, and then we can see what will be printed in our console here. So I'll just say hello. So if we give it hello, we need to see here if there's a response that will be printed in our console. So let's see if we have everything is working okay. So afterward, it should print here. So actually what I also do, I'll come here, and in our backend, because we have our backend here, I'll just add, so let me come here, and inside this here, let me see. So inside this one is frontend, so I need to get into a backend here, and inside this here, in our post request here, I just say console log, because I need to know that we are getting this message to our backend. So just like that. So let's save. So let's also go back here. So you can see we have this, and I think this is the response that is being printed here, if I'm not wrong. So let me make sure that our backend is also running here. So let's give it hello, just like that. So after we come here, you can see it is undefined. You're not getting anything here, and I think that is the problem now. So what I can do now to see what is wrong here, I just need to let me first of all come here and see what the why we are not getting the message here. So this message, let me also print in our front end. Let me look for front end here, and inside our app dot, actually they are here. So let me see what is happening here. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll console log here. First of all, let me console.log here, and I'll just console log this here also. First of all, console log this, and after that I can confirm that this is it. And then the other thing is I console log also here in the console log here, console log, and then I'll say this is for the service, and I want to print the message here so that you see where the problem is. So let me save this also, and this also here, I want to save it. So let's go back and see where the problem is. So after we have done that, now let's do hello, and when we type here, you can see we have hello, and then here hello, and then let's see what is the problem here. So I can see it is undefined, and I think I know where the problem is. So what I'll do, I'll just first of all come here in my service, and inside our service here, what need to do, I think it is, I need to do this here. I just need a thing to do the message here. So just like that, I think that was the problem, so that we get the message. So let's see here, and then let's see here. I think that's okay now, and let's open our application here. So I'll just say hello. Let's see. So let's see also from our backend, and here you can see we are getting some, we are not getting the response here, and I think this is because of course, let me see here. You can see here, let me first of all see if we have printed anything in our front end, in our backend here. So let's see here. So okay, so this one is our front end, and let me first of all reload it, so that actually, so let me first of all go back and see if our I closed backend. So this is backend, and then we can say nodemon and then index.js, just like that. So let's see if yes, I think I closed our backend. So I just say hello, and we do that. So you can see now we have this one here. And if you look here, you can see, hey there, how can I help you? So we are getting the response now. So I'll just do something else. Let's go back inside this one here. And inside here now, what I can do, I can create also. I can just copy this here. And when I copy this, I just paste it here inside now this one, this after we have subscribed, that is. So let me first of all paste this one inside here. So this one I'll just call it GPT, and also this will have the message of the val.message, just like that. Okay, now that's okay now. So after that also I need, when I click on this, when I enter, I need to also to format to reset my form. So I just say this dot form, because we don't want to have our input having the message again. We need to clear that message. So I just say reset, just like that. And then so let me see again what will happen. So open our application, and then hopefully this time it will also work. So I just say hello, and let's see if we can print in our front end here. So after a while it should give us the response. So let's see if our backend also is running. You can see here we are getting none, and I don't know why we are getting none here. So let me do something like hello. Okay, describe. Actually I think this is the response that we are getting here, and it is looking really bad. So I don't know why we have that, but okay, let me see something here. So I don't know why we are getting that. So I just say hello again, and when I do the hello again, here we are getting null, and I don't know why we are getting null. So let me first of all go back and see where the problem is. So I'm thinking that we're having problems somewhere here. So when we do this service, and then let me also console log. Okay, I know where the problem is, and the problem is because I did this reset. So I need to remove that reset, and then I can do this one outside, like here. So I think here it's okay. Yeah, so here there was a problem with that, because remember we are resetting our form before we get this message to our backend. So let us save, and then now we can see here. Okay, let us save. That is weird. So let me do hello. So and in here, what I can do, you can see now we have this hello, and after a while we should get the response. So you can see here we have this here. We have this. I'm a professional photographer, and what. So it's giving us a response, but I want to ask it a real question like describe. Let me ask it to describe Kenya. So let me tell it to describe Africa here. So when I ask it to describe Africa, let us see what will get us a message. So you can see here, Africa is the world's second largest and second most populous continent with over 1.2, and you can see it is giving us our the response here. What we are not getting is this. We're not getting this circle the way we wanted, because you can see this circle is not the same with this, and I think it's because we added the padding. So I won't do that right now. I want first of all to also ask it to write us a code. So we'll ask it write a code to in JavaScript. In JavaScript to add two numbers. Add two numbers. So let us see. Write a code in JavaScript to add two numbers. So you can see it is giving us the response. By the way, it is okay. And you can see here we have our code here. So this is the code that you can use it when you are trying to get two numbers, because you can see let num and is equals to 10, and then it is declaring the variables, and then it add this variable, and then it create this variable that will hold the sum of these two numbers. So that's okay now, and this one you can fix here. I don't think it is very important as per now. So let me ask it the other question, the last question, and I'll ask it, do you think ChatGPT will replace programmers? So let's see. Do you think ChatGPT will replace programmers? So let's give it that question, and you can see it is telling us, no, I don't think so. ChatGPT is a great tool for automating certain tasks and providing helpful information, but is not a replacement for programmers. A programmer skill set is much more complex than ChatGPT can provide. So that's all that I wanted to show you. I think now you can go and explore more on this, and I think now you can create your own ChatGPT. You can put it on your portfolio. It can be a school project, and then I think you'll get a job. So let's end here. So now this is the completion of the project, and then I'll see you in the next video or the course.